My name is Jasonem Vanderberga, and I'm the narrative director on FarCry 3.
Gunshots.
Okay, so could you tell us the definition of insanity?
Sure. It's doing the same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change.
Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy.
Yeah, Voss, this character in our game, has this idea in his head about insanity, right? And he's going on about it. To me, though, this island represents it's a place that's sort of full of insanity in a lot of ways. Insanity is when you're acting in a way that in civilized culture isn't okay. We have agreements that we're not going to act crazy, right? Yeah, that's insanity. Yes. This island hasn't had a civilization on it for a long time, and so everyone on it now can be however they want to. When we see that, it's crazy. It seems crazy. But here, it's just another day on the beach.
Yeah. This guy is only one character, so special will be others?
Yes, there'll be a whole island full of characters like this. You're going to have a lot of different people to encounter, a lot of different types of insanity to be confronted by. So yeah, it's, you play in FarCry 3, you play Jason Brody, a guy who's down on his luck. He didn't want to go to this island. He was going to another island, but his ship sunk.
This island is better.
Yeah, this is
for players.
Better for players, exactly. The other island was boring. It had pandas on it, you know. And so this, his ship sunk, his girlfriend's lost, and he finds himself on this island filled with crazy people. He's got to pick up a gun and try and find a way off of the island. Maybe he'll meet some people, some good people, some rebels, people who are fighting back, and maybe he'll help them out along the way. But you'll see. Have to see when you get there.
If I'm talking about insanity, yeah. Your game looks insane. You know? It's really great. We are now back in the jungle.
Yes.
Why jungle?
So so it's in the same jungle. It's a new island, right? This is a new space that we're in. This kind of FarCry has always been about an experience where you're playing a guy who is doing one thing, and then a bad thing happens, and suddenly he's stuck on a desert island. He's trapped in the middle of nowhere, right? And it's the perfect setting. It's the perfect environment for that. There's a reason it was the setting on Far Cry 1. It's the perfect setting for that, right? So we're taking some of those ideas. We wanted to come back and to this kind of look, right? But it's a whole new space. We got new technology. It's a beautiful location filled with cool water and waterfalls and foliage and plants and these wonderful vistas and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's paradise. But then you scratch the surface, it's a nightmare.
From the beginning of this franchise, Far Cry was about open space, about exploring this space.
Player choice.
But today in Far Cry 3 there is a lot of scripting sense. There's a lot more action than we see before. Only in your show that in this demo there's a lot of action, helicopter and stuff like this. The action will be more intense in this game.
So. It uses the same engine, the same technology as Far Cry 2. It's going to be an open world game. It will be open world, absolutely. We want the player to be able to choose their location. Even that scene that you saw, right? That fight, that village that you fight through, you can approach that village any way you want. There's lots of different ways to solve that problem. The AI is ready to go. It's not a scripted fight. You just have to get to that helicopter, right? And how you do that is entirely up to you, right? And there's lots of different ways to go about it. And that's going to be through the entire game. What we're doing is we're focusing on, intense, cool moments where we give you the story, you meet these incredible characters without breaking the experience, right? We're not doing cinematics. We're going to do it right there in front of you, right? And then setting you free to go and do whatever you want, right? Until you hit the moment, right?
In Far Cry 2, there was a lot of boring riding, in this desert, and it was it was not so intense. Do you have any ideas how to?
Well, so every game, every time you're following another game, right? You want to take the best stuff and that was there and move that forward, and then you want to improve on it, right? And we're the same. I'm a huge fan of Far Cry 2, right? I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. But like any game, there's places we could make improvements. We're going to make those improvements, right? So I mean, you're talking about fast travel, right? I mean, if it would be nice to be able to move quickly from place to place. I think you're going to be fine at the end of the day. When you play this game, you're going to be totally satisfied. So we're coming out in 2012. We got a long way to go still, right? So we're still working on our core loop and some of our features. So expect to see more, right? But don't worry. That kind of stuff, the next demo and the demo after that, I think you're going to start to go, oh, I see, yeah, all this is going to be fine.
Take off! Okay. Get us up! Go! Damn it!
What exactly Far Cry franchise is, because there are always new hero, new places. What is
Far Cry to me is a fantasy. It's a particular kind of fantasy. I call it Man Alone. And it's what I described. It's you're going this way, something bad happens, and you end up in the heart of darkness, right? You're surrounded by bad dudes doing bad things to good people, right? And then, hey, what's that? It's an AK-47. Bad men, AK-47. Bad men, AK. I have an idea, right? And I think that's always been at the heart of Far Cry. What's amazing about Far Cry is that it can move from place to place. It can contain new heroes and new locations. It's broad enough to kind of be a world or kind of a setting instead of it being about one guy in particular, right? So this time we're playing as Jason Brody, right? And I'm pretty excited to tell that story. So
okay, so thank you.
Thank you.
We are waiting for it.
Right on.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?